Tottenham Hotspur vs Arsenal April 20, 2011 BPL Epic Preview. When Tottenham welcome Arsenal to White Hart Lane on Wednesday, there will be far more than just the pride of North London at stake. The 7-point gap between the Gunners and Premier League leaders Manchester United represents a chasm at this late stage of the season, while Spurs have Manchester City in fourth place in their sights. Arsene Wenger has had plenty of all-season hinges on this game fixtures over the past few months, but the ever-creaking door to a first trophy in 6 years has almost slammed shut for another season. The Gunners have been drinking at Last Chance Saloon for weeks and last orders have just been called. Considering Arsenal and Spurs are so frequently lauded for their attacking intent and derided for their defensive naivety, both sides have produced some pretty disappointing performances in recent matches. Wenger's Chargers have scored just 7 goals in their past 7 games, a run that has included 2 0-0 draws, while Harry Redknapp's team have managed a measly 6 goals in their past 7, including 3 stalemates. Wenger may have complained about Lady Luck's refusal to flash him a smile against Liverpool, but his side's inability to find the net until the 98th minute despite dominating the game is ultimately what cost them. The Reds had a game plan to stifle the Gunners into submission, and they executed it perfectly, following in the footsteps of Newcastle, West Brom, Sunderland, Blackburn and, of course, Spurs, in achieving an impressive result at Emirates Stadium this season. Former Arsenal goalkeeper David Seaman recently called on Wenger to abandon his flawed possession equals points philosophy in favour of a substance over style approach, and it's likely they will need to show some ruthlessness if they are to emerge with all 3 points from Wednesday's must-win derby. An unenviable run-in includes visits to Stamford Bridge, Eastlands and Anfield, though it was similarly difficult last season when Redknapp's side beat Chelsea, City and Arsenal on their way to a first taste of the Champions League. Tottenham player to watch, Rafael van der Vaart. The Dutch playmaker produced arguably his most influential display in a Spurs shirt against Arsenal in November, scoring 1 and creating the other 2 in his side's 3-2 victory. Despite still rarely looking capable of finishing a match, Van der Vaart has played 90 minutes in his past 2 games, the first time he has managed that feat since January. A Champions League exit to former club Real Madrid would have been harder for him to take than most, but Spurs desperately need him to immediately refocus and return to the peak of his creative powers if they are to find a way past the Gunners. Van der Vaart has only 2 goals to his name in 2011 and has not found the net since February 5. The North London derby represents an opportunity for him to emphatically return to the scoresheet. Arsenal player to watch, Wojciech Szczesny. Defensive ineptitude has cost Arsenal and Tottenham too often this season, so both backlines will be under pressure to shed their questionable reputations at White Hart Lane. Szczesny, however, is one player who has emerged from this campaign with some credit. Aside from a calamitous Laurel and Hardy-esque error alongside Laurent Koscielny in the Carling Cup final, the young Polish goalkeeper certainly looks capable of making the number 1 spot his own. A composed display on his return from injury against Liverpool, in which he dealt superbly with the presence of Andy Carroll, stands him in good stead for this clash, with Peter Crouch likely to provide a similar nuisance from balls into the box. Key battle, Gareth Bale v Bukhari Sana. Fresh from receiving his PFA Player of the Year award, Welsh speedster Gareth Bale will be looking to demonstrate exactly why his fellow professionals voted him the Premier League star performer this season. Standing in his way, much to the relief of Arsenal fans who feared a second dose of Emmanuel Boo, is the returning Bukhari Sana. Possessing a touch more calm in decision-making than his Ivorian teammate, Sana will be charged with shackling Bale, whose devastating pace helped him bag a goal in each of his last 2 games against the Gunners. Sana's ability to communicate with his fellow defenders will likely be tested to the full, as both of the Welshmen's strikes actually came from central positions. prediction, both teams have failed to impress of late, so unless there is a significant improvement from either side, a draw would appear the likeliest outcome, with a share of the spoils handing the impetus to the Manchester clubs in the respective races for the title and Champions League qualification.